Hello everyone, it's Linda from Filming Studio. Welcome back. A very happy new year to you all, and Mr. Mac joins me in wishing you a happy new year as well. So for today I am going to be doing a stamped one sheet wonder. I know that maybe 2 years ago I did one of these in a class, but since then I have discovered the most wonderful demonstrator. Her name is Ruth Trice. From Artful Stamping, and she has a YouTube channel which I'll link below for you to go and have a look at if you wish. And recently I was lucky enough to be on a seminar which she did for UK Stampin' Up demonstrators, so we got a real insight into her method, her process. So I thought I'd share that with you today. Now I'm not sure how long this is going to take, and so maybe the video will be in two halves. I think maybe I'll stamp it and then in part two we'll make it up into cards. But let's see how we get on. So to begin with, I usually suggest, if you're going to do a floral one, that you get 3 different sizes of flowers. Now, I have not actually got a current set with all florals in it, so I have got Flower from Tasteful Touches, a Flower from Positive Thoughts, a smaller one, and a small and a real ditty from Blossoms in Bloom, and I'm going to use some leaves from Forever Fern. So what you need, I would suggest, is a minimum of 3 floral stamps and a set of leaves, or you can have more leaves, and then you're set up to go. The other thing we're going to need is something with a wee bit of texture, just to add interest, so I'm going to be using that one. And I've also, you know me, I do like a splatter and a spot, so I've got the little spotty one from Forever Fern. Colour-wise, I decided that I wanted to use Gorgeous Grape as my main colour, and then 2 shades of turquoise. So I've got Pool Party and Coastal Cabana. I've got a neutral, Smoky Slate, and then I have got a complementary, the opposite on the colour wheel. And if you look at my colour wheel, you will see that if we go from the purple, which is my main colour, my complementary is yellow. So that is why I've chosen that particular set of colours. Now, I think this would work with just any 2 colours and a neutral. That would be the absolute simplest way. But I'm going to use all of these. So I'm going to start with my Gorgeous Grape. Okay, I am going to take my big flower, and I'm going to try and stamp this as if it was in my head an X shape across the paper. I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm going to do 1st and 2nd generation stamping, so I get 2 colours. So here's my first, and then I'm going to turn it round, slightly overlap it, and go in with the second, so it's paler. And there's a whoops there already, but we won't worry about it. So I am now going to go, I'm going to put my darker one here this time, and my lighter one here. And I will now go, I think I'm going to put that there, and that there. So this is one of these techniques where you've got to try not to overthink it. And I know it's not hard. We all keep thinking, oh, what if I did that? And what if I did that? Anyway, I've got a sort of a diagonal there. So let's go across here now and bring my diagonal there. There is no need for you to do it in a diagonal. It's giving me a rough idea of where I want my placement, rather than just randomly stamping all over the paper. So let's have another one there with its stamped off version there. I think I'll put another little bit up here. And I think what I'm going to do is put a couple there and maybe there. Okay, I may come back and fill that in. I'll think about it. So I want to colour these up a bit. This is an absolutely beautifully textured stamp, really detailed. But of course it's an outline stamp, so there's an awful lot of white left behind. So what I'm going to do is take my blending pen, and this is a water-based blending pen because the inks are water-based. So this won't work with, if you've got alcohol inks and a blending pen, doesn't work. If you haven't got a water-based blending pen, then use a very lightly damp paintbrush for this technique. But obviously you don't want to wet your paper too much. It's not watercolour paper, but that is a way around it if you don't have a blending pen. So let me show you how this works. I just want to get more colour. So I'm going to just lightly stroke with my blending pen over my stamped image. And it will be pulling the ink into the petals now. And at the same time, you're still going to see the detail in the stamp. I'm not being too fussy about it. I don't mind if there's some little white bits left here and there, because that will give it just a little bit of light and shade. Any artists watching, look away now, because, you know, I'm probably saying all the wrong things. But anyway, so that one's come up quite dark. And then here's the one that I did as a stamped off, my second generation. So it's actually coming in as a lighter colour. So that's going to give us a nice contrast between the two colours of flower. So I'll just bring that up for you. I think you can see the contrast there is quite nice. So I'm going to actually colour in the rest of these, or blend in the rest of these, and we'll speed the video up so you don't get too bored. Okay, so that's me got all of the flowers coloured in, and I don't know if you noticed, but I was turning the paper around to make it easier to get at things. So don't be worried about, you know, turning the paper around. Sometimes it's awkward when you're trying to move across. Same with your stamping. Move your paper about for a more comfortable position for your hand. So what are we going to do next? I think the next thing I want to do actually is put some leaves into these flowers. And I'm going to use the Copacabana for that. So it's an interesting colour. It's kind of, you know, a kind of a greeny bluey, but nice. Now I'm going to be using this stamp. Let's show you on the packet because it's easier. Actually, it's this one. Anyway, but as you can see, I hope, there, see this stalk? I don't want that. I don't want that to show up. I want my leaves to look as though they're coming out from behind the flowers. So what I'm going to do is turn my ink pad about, and then if I just get it into position like that, I'm going to miss the stalk. Doing that in the air probably wasn't the best idea, but let's see. That's fine. So line it up here. You can also come in from the corner, but depending on your stamp size, but that's not going to work. So just coming in here now. And I want my flowers to come, my leaves to start coming out, looking as though they're behind the flowers. So I'm going to go down once, and then again I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to pivot my stamp round ever so slightly, and that's going to give me the second generation and a slight move. And let's put some more in here. So down there, and then pivot for your second stamping off. We're looking for an impression here. It doesn't actually matter how we do this. Okay. I'm going to turn my paper around so that it's easier to reach. Definitely want some here. Okay. Now, bearing in mind that this is going to be chopped up into separate cards, it can be kind of confusing because you feel that you need to make a proper picture, but you don't. You can just fill in bits and pieces to please yourself. I think I'd like some more here though. Yeah. And maybe here. Maybe this one can come off the page a bit. Okay. So I think I'm happy with that. And next on my list, I'm going to go for my next flower down. I'm going to use Pool Party. And I am going to just fill in a few little gaps here and there. Again, it doesn't matter if you overlap. I think maybe just an odd little one here and there. Yeah. Okay, that's good for now. And then the next thing I want to do is to go with my smallest flower and my contrast colour, which is Daffodil Delight. And we'll fill in a few flowers here and there, a few spaces. So I will do 3 impressions where I've got lots of space and 2 where I haven't. Maybe one up there. Okay. This is great fun, you know, and because it's one of those no right or wrong ways to do it, it's another great thing to be doing when you want to get in the studio and do a craft room and do something, but you don't know what. So, you know, just grab a piece of paper, grab some stamps out and play. And if it all goes horribly wrong, which it won't, it's only a bit of paper, you may surprise yourselves and come up with something really gorgeous, which is what I'm trying to do here. So next on my list, I have got a tiny, tiny little flower, and I'm just going to use it for the centres of the yellow flowers. Can't find it now. Yeah, this little flower here. So I'll use it for the centres. I think I'll bring back the gorgeous grape. And probably not. Trying not to overthink it. I've just said to you, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. So I must practice what I preach. And the other thing that's good to do, and I was forgetting there, is to, when you've done one impression, turn your block round so that the next one isn't exactly the same. Right. Just checking I haven't missed any of those. No, that looks good. Righty-ho. So, as you can see, once again, I am covering the paper. I really struggle to leave white space, and I'm going to have to work on that. So I'm just going to bring in my little texture stamp now and my neutral and just fill in a few gaps with that. And because this is a geometric texture, I think that gives quite a good contrast to the florals. If I'm in frame. So good at saying don't overthink it, aren't I? I think actually some of these I might want to just have a wee bit more of, or possibly overlap. Maybe pop one in there. Okay. Let's just see what happens if I do. No, leave it. Leave it. I've just noticed though that I've missed out the centre of one of the yellow flowers, so we'll fix that if I can find it again. There. Now, because I had stamped that off to the palest colour, I will do the same. And I have got another one up there. Okay. And I think for my grand finale, I cannot resist a wee bit of bling, and I do like spots. So I have got the spots, yeah, from the Forever Fern stamp set. So that's the one that I got the leaf from. And this is an old gold pad, but it still seems to work. And I really do like just throwing in some odd spots and dots around the place. if you want to get a spotty look without a spotty stamp, then the way to do that would be to get some paint on your paintbrush and just flick it. Either, have I got one? Imagine that's your paintbrush. Either flick like that, or you can kind of tap and it will give you a spotty, blotchy look. Just a little extra interest again. Okay, so that has been, I'm just looking to see, 25 minutes. Okay, so that is what I have done in 25 minutes. Be a wee bit less because I've speeded some up. So I think what I'm going to do is stop there, and then I'll do a second video cutting it up and show you various ways and shapes and sizes that we can do that. So thank you all so much for watching. Could I ask a big favour? I really do want to try and get my YouTube channel up and running properly this year. So I would ask you if you could please be kind enough to subscribe down below. If you don't have a YouTube channel, you may need to get one. It doesn't take long to sign up for a YouTube account, but if you could, that would be great. And any comments down below as well. Absolutely fantastic. It all helps. It's the same on all social media. Comments, thumbs up, hearts, they all help with the profile, and it's a way of helping me without actually spending any money. So thank you for that. Sorry about the shameless plug, and I'll see you next time. Bye.